Thank you for joining me today. Today I would like to approach a question that I've been asked, and I actually had this question myself in the past, and I didn't have a good answer to the question in the past, but I think I have a good answer to this question now, so I want to share it with you. The question is there a connection between a man's relationship with his wife, if there is a good relationship, and his ability to have a good income, his ability to bring a lot of money, to support the family? Is there a connection between Shalom Bayit, peace in the home, and Parnassa, the ability to have a good income? So it's a very interesting question. And I think the question comes because people that tend to have issues with their Shalom Bayit also tend to have issues with their Parnassa. And people that have a good relationship with their spouse tend to, I'm just making a general rule, tend to also have good Parnassa. So is that just chance? Is it just the way the cards fall? Or is there actually a good reason for this? So I would like to bring a Jewish source. It's actually the last Mishnah in all of the Seder, the order of the Mishnah. The Mishnah is a huge body of work. And the last Mishnah is found in Uktzin, which is part of Taharot. And the last Mishnah says as follows: Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta. Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta says, Lo matzah HaKadosh Baruch Hu kli machzik bracha. The Holy One, blessed be He, Hashem, did not find a vessel for holding bracha, for holding blessings. Li Yisrael, for the Jews, either as a nation, maybe individually, Ela HaShalom, but peace. Meaning the only vessel that Hashem found that would hold blessings is peace. That is how the Mishnah ends, and then it brings a verse: Hashem oz li'amo yiten, Hashem yivarech et amo b'shalom. Hashem is the strength of His people, and He will bless His nation with peace. Now, bringing this back to our topic with relation to Shalom Bayit, relation to man and wife, peace in the home, I would say as follows. Peace comes simply because there is good communication between man and wife. Meaning, I want X, you want Y. What do we do about this? I want X, so does that mean I just go ahead and do X? You want Y. Does that mean you just go ahead and do Y? What about me? If that affects me, then surely there needs to be some communication here so that my X and your Y, which are two very different things, we don't feel like, oh my gosh, I wanted Y, meanwhile we're doing X. Like, I wanted to go, even if it's something simple, I wanted to go in Chinese. Why are we going to eat Italian? Whatever it is. Or I wanted to go on holiday to Greece. What are we doing in Spain? When it comes to Shalom Bayit, when it comes to peace in the home, there's always gonna be conflict, as I've mentioned before. It's inevitable. There is nothing to avoid it, and the relationship between a man and wife is such that there'll always be things that come up that need to be discussed, or they won't be discussed. Just one person will go and do their thing. Peace comes when one person actively brings to the table and says, hey, there's there's a problem here. We have an issue. I'd like to discuss this. Can we discuss this issue? And let's come to an agreement that we're both happy with. If both people are coming into the conversation with the will that we're going to come to an agreement that we're both happy with, that's a good start. Then it can be discussed. If one person is coming into the conversation because this is what they want and this is what they're going to do, and now they've just got to convince their other partner that this is how things are going to be done, then the other person may agree to that, and the peace that is formed is in fact between the two of them. But where is the conflict? And this is a really, really important point. The conflict is within that person, because that is not his ratzon, that is not his will, that's not what he wanted. But in order for the sake of Shalom Bayit, for the sake of peace in the home, he decided, okay, I'm going to come towards you, and we're going to do things the way that you want to do them. I'm going to give up on what I wanted, because for the sake of the greater good. Now, over the course of time, that's all very well. If the other person, sometimes, as I've mentioned before, two islands, a bridge, one person crosses the bridge all the way to the other side, the other person sometimes crosses the bridge all the way to the other side. Sometimes they meet in the middle. If one person is always going over to the other side, at some point he's going to feel that conflict within him. That yes, he is going out of his way. He is able to give up on what he wants for the greater good of the relationship. But in fact, that conflict is within him, meaning that's not really what he wanted. And again, I'm going with what you wanted. And this isn't the way that I wanted things. I'm doing it because I want to make you happy, and I'm doing this for the sake of the relationship. But if that is not received at all, or very little, and he finds himself constantly going over to the other side, then again, that conflict is no longer on the outside. The conflict is actually on the inside. And when a person does not feel shalem, when he does not feel whole within himself, that affects his whole spiritual well-being. And if somebody is not feeling whole within themselves, I would say that probably would affect his ability to make a good livelihood. A good livelihood comes when somebody feels whole within himself, when he's happy within himself. If somebody's not happy, then, it's going to be difficult just naturally by nature. It's going to be difficult for him to have a good Parnassa, a good income. So this, again, something to think about. I'm not saying that I have all the answers. I'm not saying that this is the answer, but I would say that maybe this is something to think about. If you're in a relationship where your partner is constantly making the decisions of this is how we're going to do things, this is how things are going to be done, or if you're that partner in the relationship that's making those decisions without discussing with your partner and making decisions together, then maybe now is the time to start thinking about how can we do things differently? How can we do things so that I hear what your side is, I hear what your desires are, your wants, your needs. I want you to hear my desires, my needs, my wants, and I want us to come together and discuss in a way that we're both over the course of time, we're both going to be happy with the decisions that we're making together for both of us. And that is really where teamwork and building this relationship is gonna, build and build and build to greatness. And in my opinion, bringing the Mishnah in Uchzin, I think that will also bring a lot of bracha, a lot of blessings to the home in the form of good income, feeling good about each other, and things just naturally will therefore flow. Again, this is my opinion. I don't really have any other sources to base it on, but just based on that one Mishnah, I would say that's, you know, that's a pretty strong source for this. So I appreciate you joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. I have a WhatsApp group. You might want to join my WhatsApp group. I will link I will post the link to the WhatsApp group below. Please join my WhatsApp group and you'll be notified whenever I send whenever I upload new content. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon.